just like because I do adapted. Now you may need a pillows or duvets, anything today, just for a help out, a chair, a table, anything, buffet, but you might not. So remember that today's class is adapted for people with high blood pressure, diabetes and joint problems, especially back problems, but not slip discs. If you've got knee and joint problems, again, adjust by putting down, putting pillows or cushions, underneath your knees to protect it. And if it feels too much, come off them and let me know, and then I'll make sure that I do something different for you, or I'll mention you especially. So we're going to start with standing up, and we're going to bring ourselves to this space, thinking about our breathing. So we're going to think about the different parts of our lungs. We're going to first placing our hands on our chest and our stomach, and as we breathe out, we're going to just work the stomach muscles. So we're just going to breathe in and feel the stomach come out, and breathe out and feel the stomach come in, but not move the chest. So we're going to take a breath in and out through the mouth. So now we're going to pull that stomach muscle in, and now try and breathe just into our chest. But not make our stomach move. Then we're going to take a breath in and out through the mouth. So now we're going to try and pull our belly in, we're going to try and pull our chest back, and we're going to try and breathe into the little area. It's just below the rib cage here, and also just below the shoulder blade here. It's only a very little part of the lung, so it's a very small breath. And we're going to take a breath in quite quickly whenever you need to. So breathe out, pull the stomach, pull the chest in. Just breathing into this part. And then breath in. So take a few of them if you need. With this, it's starting to make you work and understand the different parts of the lungs. And at the end, I'll get you to think about breathing predominantly into one side and then the other side, into the front or the back, into the front of one and the back of the other. So doing diagonal breath, which is what we do when we move. And it's easier for our brain to kind of understand it when we're moving, that's where we breathe into. But we can do that even without moving. We can move our air. And even if I say breathe into your right lung, you'll still get air in your left lung. It's just that it'll go predominantly, or feel like it'll predominantly go into one lung. So let's do our neck stretches. And again, with this, as you're going forward, think about breathing into the back of the body. When you're going backwards, think about breathing into the front side, to the opposite side, twisting into them different. So thinking about the breathing as we're doing it. We're going to hold for 3 breaths in each direction. So if you can, you're going to drop your chin down towards your chest. Now remember, listen to your neck. So if this feels too much, you can always support your head with your hand. And bringing it back up. And it's probably not even thinking about breathing in that area, it's just thinking about where you're breathing. So just breathe naturally and see where it naturally breathes into. So here we go. Oh, here's the rain, just come here now. So tuck the chin, bring it up. And again, support it with your hand if you need to. And bring it back down. So we're tucking the chin in and we're bringing it over to the side. Again, you can support it if it feels too much. Pushing the opposite hand towards the chin. And squeeze that straight. Bringing it back to centre. Again, let's take it to the other side. And bring it back up. So let's turn our head and look over our shoulder. Hairstone. And bring it back to centre and over to the other side. So we're going to keep our shoulders down, but we're going to circle them as if we're swimming backwards. And you'll feel the sides start to lift at the same time. And then we're going to take them in the opposite direction. And bring it down. Bring the hands out, so we're bringing them together. And you're just going to turn to the side, keeping the feet forward, bringing it back. Take it round to the other side. Bring it back. Let's do 2 more. Working through the thoracic, so through the rib cage. You will also feel it pulling out the shoulders at the back. And the last side. Bring them back. Take the hands down. If you can, grab the hands behind. If you can't grab fully, you can always take a band behind your back and hold it as close as you can. So it's up to you where you can get your hands to. You're going to bend the knees, lift the arms and go forward. Then keeping that back straight if you've got any back problems. The chin tucked in and in line with your head if you've got high blood pressure. Feel that stretch through the bum, through the thighs, through the back, even with them knees down. Breathe in, lifting back up. We're going to take it down again, so bend the knees, lift the arms, come forward. Breathing in, lifting back up. Keep the hands a little straight. Place the hands on the bum. Bring the elbows, try and bring them together as much as you can. Tuck the chin in. Breathe in, push forward. Bring it back up. Take the hands down. Oh, I'll do two of them. Do two, didn't I? So, we're going to take it over to the side. So again, you can lift them arms up if you want. I'm going to keep my arm down. And we're just going to reach down to the side, making sure that shoulder's pulling back. Either look forward, don't let the head drop. Keep the chin tucked in. Or turn so that you're looking up. And then bringing it back up. Let's take it to the other side. So reaching down, tucking the chin in, turning if you want. And bringing it back up. Let's do one more on each side. And back. And to the other side. Lovely. So we're going to work our hips. We're going to take our legs slightly apart and turn the toes slightly out. So the knees are bent. Place our hands on our hips and we're going to have a nice straight bucket or dish for our pelvis. We're then going to tilt our pelvis forward so that if we had a water in our pelvis, it would all fall out at the front. We're going to bring our pelvis back to centre and we can feel it with our bones here. We're going to tilt our pelvis back so the water flies out the back. We're tilting it back and tilting it forward. Now it might only be a little movement. It just depends on how much your spine allows, how much that pelvic wants to give, how much the muscles, the ligaments, the fascias, that attach bone to muscle and muscle to skin. And it just depends on how much they want to give to how much movement you've got in this area. So don't worry, I've got quite a flicky tailbone, so I can take it back quite far or tilt it forward, but I can't tilt it back quite far. And that's just because my tailbone, the way it works, base of my spine. And this is just loosening off our pelvis. Now if we can, we're going to tilt our bowl forward. Then we're going to bring it up towards our right. Then we're going to tilt our bowl backwards. Then we're going to bring it up towards the left. Tilt it forwards, up towards the right. Tilt it back, up towards the left. Tilt it forwards, right, back, left, forwards, left, right, back, left, forwards, right, back, left, and then bring it back to centre. So now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to tilt it backwards, up to the left, forwards, up to the right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, forward, right. And the whole way we're going around, we're stretching and working all the muscles that work the waist. So you'll feel it pulling as it goes to here. This muscle's got to pull up as it goes to here. This muscle's got to pull up. This muscle's got to pull up. This muscle's got to pull up. At the same time, this muscle stretching, this muscle stretching, this muscle stretching, sorry, this muscle stretching, this muscle stretching. So it's working all the way around. So let's bring it to centre. Now we're going to bring ourselves up onto one leg. So remember, if you've got your chair, you can always hold on to it. You don't need to, but it's always there if you want to. So if you've got the chair, make sure that it's your leg that's closer to the chair that you're holding on to. You're swinging the foot backwards and forwards, trying to work inside this hip area now. And then we're going to bring it out to the side and across the body. As long as you haven't got a hip replacement, if you have, then you're just bringing the leg towards the leg. You're not going across the body. Otherwise, your hip will pop out. Now you're going to bring that foot and place it anywhere it can go on your leg. So you're taking it into tree. Use your hand if you want to push the leg out, or hold it if it doesn't want to stay. It doesn't have to be that high. It can be all the way down here. But you're just using the opposite hand to pull out. If you want to let go, you can. But just remember that chair's there. And then bring it in, take it down. So let's try the other side. So never do that side, otherwise when you go across, you'll just kick the chair. And make sure the leg's always away. So we're forwards and backwards. Trying to keep the foot going forwards. We don't want to twist as we go back. We want to keep our body nice and straight. It's just working the hip. 5. And then we're going to take it across and out. And again, we don't want the toe to turn up, so we don't want our body to turn. We want to keep it straight. It doesn't matter how far it goes. It's not about that, it's about opening the hips and the thighs, the inside. Then we're going to bring it up and place it anywhere it wants to go. Use the hand to push back, pull the stomach muscles in. If you've got the chair, you could even try closing your eyes. And bring it back down. Give your legs a little shake, and if you bring your feet up and down as if you're walking, so that you can let the hips swing from side to side, but you're also pushing them toes forward, them heels forward, to give a little stretch underneath the foot, but also working them knees at the same time. Bring yourself back down. So let's bring ourselves to sun salutation. I'm taking it down onto the floor today, but I will adapt it on the floor, so my knees will be down and things like that. So do whatever you want to do. Like I said, if you need to, there isn't anybody on here that uses the chair, so yeah. So we're bringing ourselves into a mountain position, lifting our toes, pulling our thighs in our pelvic floor, our shoulders back and down, our chin tucked back, our hands pushing together. If we can close the eyes, brilliant. But if you feel you're wobbling too much, just look towards the floor. Think about what you want. Ask for it. I want. Breathe in, lifting the arms up, reach back, or keep them closed if you've got shoulder problems. Breathe out, bend the knees, take it into a forward bend. Remember to bend the knees, keep that back straight, keep the head lifted if you've got high blood pressure problems. We're going to straighten the legs, push the knees back but not lock them, shoulders pull back, so they're not up by the shoulders, they're back, but they're also pulling backwards towards each other. We're pushing the chest down, trying to get a nice straight back. If you have to, then bend them knees. If it means that as you straighten the knees, the back curls, bend the knees, that might make it a little easier. Bend the knees, take the hands down. We're going to step back with our right foot. You can bring the knee down, push forward, and then lift. Again, the arms up, or lift the hands to prayer if the shoulders are too painful. Take the hands down. Bring the knee back. If you can, see if you can spring up to down dog. Again, keep that head lifted if it's blood pressure problems. Come forward on the hands to plank. Bring the knees down, squeeze the stomach, turn the elbows to face the front, bend the arms, bring the chest down. Shoulders roll back, take it into Sphinx, make sure then that shoulders are down, the neck's lifted. Take the hands back under the shoulders, push to the knees, tuck the toes, spring back up. Lift the left foot up, bring it in towards the chest, step it forward. Bring the back knee down, bring the body up. Take the hands down, step in. Bend the knees, lift the head, breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, take it down. Breathe in, into a half bend. Breathe out, stepping back with the left foot. Breathe in, lifting up. Breathe out, come back to down dog. Breathe in, come up onto the tiptoes, and breathe out, come forward to plank. Breathe in. See if you can lift the hips this time, but don't compromise them shoulders. Don't drop into the neck. Make sure you're always lifting up and out. Push back to the knees. Back up to down dog. Lift the right foot up. Step it forward. Lift it. Take the hands down. Breathe out. Step in. And breathe in. Lift up. Bringing the arms back down. Lovely. So we're going to take it through a little flow of warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3. Let me just get my hair out of the way. I should have done this earlier. So we're going to step back, placing the foot flat down, keeping the heels forward. We're going to turn. We're going to turn back, come forward and lift our leg into warrior 1, at warrior 3. Now, I'm going to keep my hands here, and then the second time I'm going to keep them here. It's up to you. If you want to lift them, you can. But again, I don't want anybody with blood pressure problems or shoulder problems to feel that they have to. So I'm going to keep my arms down. So we're going to start at the front of our mat. And we're going to step back with our left foot. We're going from the tiptoe and trying to push the heel down. Pushing into that front knee. Pull the shoulders back. So we're in warrior 1. Lift the chin. Feel strong. We're going to turn the hips. Now we may need to move that back foot, and if you do, you can move it out if it doesn't feel that you can get the hip round without having to move the back leg. We're now in warrior 2. We're going to again trying to push into that knee, but we don't want it to go over the front leg. If it does, we can always take that back leg back a little bit. But we're looking over that front leg. Again, we're lifting up our chin and we're being a strong warrior. We're going to turn ourselves around. So now we're coming onto our tiptoe at the back. We're going to step up, but we've still got our toe touching the floor, making sure our hips are facing forward. Find a spot on the floor. See if we can straighten that front leg so that our back leg lifts off the floor. We can flex the back foot and push the knee away to try and straighten that knee. Shoulders again, pulling down from the ears, pulling backwards, chin tucked in. And then we're going to bring it back up to standing. Lovely. So let's do the other foot. So we're taking our right foot and we're stepping back, placing the heel flat down. Hips face forward, shoulders pull back, chin up. Turn the hips. Push into that front knee. Just that back leg if you need to. Look up. Swing the hips onto the tiptoe at the back. Find a spot on the floor. Step up. Hold it here. Make sure your hips are fine. Pull your stomach in, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. Straighten the front leg. Push the heel of that back leg away. The leg you're standing on, you don't lock that knee, but the one that's lifted, you can lock that, push it out. And then bring it back up. So we're going to do it again, but I'm going to bring my hands into prayer. Here we go. Stepping back. Warrior one. Turning to the side. Push and look to warrior two. Turn the body, bringing it into a warrior lunge. Step up. Take it to warrior three. And bring it back up. Shift the weight over. Let's step back with that right foot. Push into the front knee. Chin up. Feel strong. Warrior one. Turn the body. Push to the front knee. Look forward. Warrior two. Turn the body. Take the back foot into tiptoe. Into a lunging warrior. Step up, move forward, if you want, to warrior three. And bring it back down. Give your hands, give your legs a little shake. Lovely. So now, if you've got a chair and a band, we're going to take it into standing head to knee, which is sort of that, pulling yourself down. Now, not always that easy, so I'm going to adapt it. You can, if you want, put your bum against the wall, pull your leg up, grab your band, and just hold it here, and then eventually start pulling forward so that your balance is against here. If you find that your foot, I can't even get it up that far, I'm in here, I'm kind of curling and I'm down here, then we need a chair. So get your chair. I've nicked my granddaughter's duvet, but it can be anything, it can just be a cushion, it doesn't have to be that much. Place it on the seat of the chair by a wall. So again, you've got something to hold on to. Step your foot up. And just getting used to it here. You can even try going forward from here. And moving forward. So it's any of them positions that you want. And then we're going to bring it down. So you can stay there. If you find that, I can get my leg a bit higher than that. Depending on your chair. Again, pad it, the back of it. Bring your leg up so that you're trying to get it a bit more in line with your hip. Flexing your foot. Again, if you've got your band, once you've got your leg up, put your band around, hold on with both hands, and trying to pull, depending on what's wrong with your back. So if you've got back problems, you'll want to bring your chin past your knee. If you haven't got back problems, you can curl and try to bring your nose down to your knee. You'll notice that different ones do different things to the legs. So see how it feels. Like I said, if you've got back problems, then try and bring your chin past your knee. And that'll keep that back nice and straight. So we'll do one more. Changing legs. Choosing your position. And one more. And let's change it last time. So remember, it's completely up to you the height that you take it. Just do everything nice and slowly. Have a wall there to protect you. And like I said, once the leg starts to, the muscles start to stretch, you'll be able to take away the chair. The muscles stretch that well that it'll start to know, oh, this is where you want my leg, not down on the floor. But anything side of the settee will work. It doesn't have to be high. It's just getting that leg used to being lifted. And then let's bring it back down. Give your legs a little walk. So bend and straighten the knees. My things run out of power. Never mind. So we're going to take it down onto the floor. So if you've got your cushioning, remember you can use your chair. Bring yourself down onto your good knee. Then roll down onto your bad knee. If you want to get up, come onto your good knee. Have your bad knee at the side. Lift up into a down dog. And curl up. And that's a nicer way of getting up and down off the floor. I'm going to bring this down as we're down on the floor. That's it. Okay. So we're going to take it into a pose of a plank. Now this can be anything. There's different types of plank. You can do plank on your hands. You can do plank on your elbows. Everybody's different, so you have to choose the plank or the variation that you prefer. There's also the plank where you're completely flat, your hands are under your shoulders, your toes are tucked under, you can lift your knees and you're pushing with your arms, but you're not going anywhere. And you're trying to pull your belly off the floor. That too is plank. I'm going to take it midway. So I'm going to take it to a knees down plank. So we come kind of up into our all four. You're using your fingertips to do the pushing. And you're creating a bridge underneath each finger. You're also pushing with the outside edge of your hand. And you're creating a hole on the inside of your hand. Then your shoulder blades have to be pulling backwards. They can't be facing forward. And it's all to do with your elbows. So if you turn your elbows so that the elbows are facing forward, the hands, the fingers can be facing in any direction as long as the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders are in line. But if you have to turn to get them arms to come forward, you have to turn the elbows out, or the hands out, sorry, turn the hands out. If you can keep them forward and roll them back, it does the same thing. It starts to work the shoulder. It starts to work this muscle at the back of the arm, which is a lot of this majority of the work in a push down. It's in a press up. It's always those. So we're moving our hands to the front. We're going to take our knees from right under our hips to just a little bit back. And then we're going to shift our weight over our hands. And you'll feel that straight away. Squeeze the stomach muscles, shoulders back. Tuck the toes, push the heels away. But you don't have to lift the knees. Squeeze it here. And then we're going to sit back onto our heels. We're going to give our hands a little shake. We're going to take it into a bit of a press up, but not very far. We're just bringing the elbows backwards and forwards. The same as if we were going into Cobra, but we're just going to press it a little. So we're bringing ourselves back under, our hands where they were, our knees where they were, bringing our weight over our hands, turning our shoulders forward, tucking our toes, squeezing our stomach muscles. Bend the elbows back and then straighten. Breathe out, breathe in. It doesn't have to be very much. It can just be a tiny little movement. But what you want to do is that your elbows are going backwards. They're not going outwards. Okay, so it's got to be backwards. So shoulders back, squeezing the stomach, bending and back up. 3, 4, 5. And relax. Go into child, turn your palms over. Let your head drop, put your head underneath a block if you need to. So from here, we're going to bring ourselves onto our bum. And this is where our pillows, cushions, duvets, anything you've got comes in handy. You can get your band and place it around the bottom of your feet. If you find that your hamstrings are really tight, especially if you try to straighten, your back goes down, get a towel, get a pillow, get a cushion, a block, anything you've got to hand, and place it underneath the knees. That way they won't go so straight, and that'll help to relieve that muscles on your back. You're bringing your pillows, cushions, blankets, duvets, anything you want on top. It can also be a chair, and I'll show you the chair in a minute. From here, you're trying to keep the back straight as you go forward and grabbing hold of your band, pulling your elbows, again, not out to the side, but down, and you're pulling here. Now again, if you find, oh, I haven't got all them things, but I've got a chair, Marley. Then get your stick your feet under the chair, lean forward on the chair. Again, you can always stick something under the knees. Keeping the toes pulling back, and you'll feel that stretch on the back. So we're going to breathe in and lift up. Give your feet a little wiggle. We're going to do that one more time. So start with the toes, pull the toes back. Lift up the body. So lift the chest up. Breathe out, reach forward. Take yourself down. Let your head relax either forward or rest it on your hands. Don't let the feet roll out. Keep trying to pull the knees towards each other. But think about how you feel that stretch right through the hamstrings. And then bringing it back up. And again, let the feet go. So we're going to do this again, but we're going to reverse it. We're going to take it into plough. So again, I'll give you some options on how to get into plough. Now, if you think, no, definitely I'm not putting my feet over my head, I'm not going that way. I know my back doesn't like it, nothing likes it, I like it. Then come to the wall and just stick your feet up the wall. Just like that. And this is a kind of staff pose, but the opposite direction. You can pull your toes back, you can turn your toes out, you can move your legs out to the side. Anything you want to do in this position. The same thing is going to happen in our other position. So you may find that you takes a bit of time. So if you've got your legs up the wall, you might be able to lift and bring your leg over. If you can't get them to the floor, you can again get padding and bring your feet onto the padding. You can take it so that the padding is underneath your bum. You're lying like this and bringing your legs over. So they're not going all the way over, but you're going into sort of a half one. Your legs are up, they're not resting against the wall, they're here, so gravity will start to pull them down. I'm going to stay in this one. And again, this is the opposite to what we've just been doing. This way the back is relaxed, it's nice and straight, there's no pulling on it, you don't tend to reach forward or anything in it, but the legs have got a chance to just let go. You'll feel it pulling right from the base of your spine, all through your bum muscles. Again, if you want to, you can take the legs out to the side. You could point or flex them. You could bring them to the soles of the feet touch. You can do this at the wall as well and push the knees out. And you could just keep them straight. Now this is great if you've been on your feet all day. If you have fluids that collect around the ankles or the knees, it'll help to relieve those. So we're going to bring the knees, bend the knees and bring the legs down. So either at the wall or if you're in full, bring it back over, bring the legs back in. And then you're going to roll over onto your side. We're just going to stay here. Just check in, make sure I have a think through the body. Do I feel okay? My head okay? Is everything all right? And then we're going to gently sit back up. Lovely. So we can keep our padding there. And we can sit our bum on it and it'll hopefully throw our hips forward. Now you can do one leg or you can do both legs. It's completely up to you. And again, if you want to, you can pad something underneath your knee to keep your knee lifted so that it's not flopping. So again, if you've got a towel or anything, you can always put that underneath so that your foot and your knee has got something to relax onto. I'm going to do the other leg. It's my other leg that's actually quite bad. So, from here, we're going to think about that breathing that we did at the beginning. We're going to think about breathing into the lower part of the stomach and keeping the upper part straight. Take a rescue breath in between so that your body kind of knows you're changing. Bring it into the chest, bring it into the top. Think about breathing into the left or the right, breathing into the back, the front, diagonal. It's completely up to you. Again, I'm going to start with you, but I am going to just run off in a few seconds. So stay as long as you want to. And when you're ready, you can stop. So I'm going to start off. Breathing out to start off.